Hello and welcome back to Cultist Simulator with me, Barton. Okay, so... Oh, I just realised I said last time that I wouldn't end on a cliffhanger with this thing, and I ended on a cliffhanger with this thing, so apologies for that, but it is tentative evidence. We kind of all knew that, right? I'm certain that my editor has lodged a copy of the notes elsewhere with the solicitor, with their supervisor, even with a contact in the press. This is troubling. Okay, so that's 10 minutes. Keep your nose clean. Okay, so we have... Because of that, then, we should be really looking at combining things. So, let's see, you are glimmering. Let's pop passion in there. Started. This started. Yeah, so we'll do kind of 10 minutes of 10 minutes of doing other things, as it were, and then we'll start looking back, or coming back to giving your sermons again. So we've got lots of places as well to explore, and once we get some more people, that's exactly what we're going to do. The one we've got, so she is what, level 2 Grail, and you're level 2 Grail, and you're level 2 Heart, right? So those are not enough to go into any kind of expedition with any certainty around things, or at least confidence. Not necessarily certainty, because you can't really be certain when you're going. But yeah, at the moment it's still in the kind of getting to know you more phase with the members of the cult. Got paid again there, which we're very happy about. And we're going to keep on getting paid until we need to take another little break from the office grind. So we don't need the restless. We're going to go here. It's a nice for us. Last night I visited the lodge of the Sage Knight. My hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities, but you've come for knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Kerisham days. You're welcome to it. Only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. Okay, and we've got a glimmering. So that means now that you two can be... Is it? No. Yeah, let's do those two first. Something's on. We've got left on you 7 minutes. No, more than that, right? 8.5 minutes. So the only thing I really know about our priest ending for Father Ted here is it's got something to do with health and injuries, and it might be something like getting one of each of the different injury types, and obviously generally to ascend you have to do rites, so There must be a rite that needs a certain amount of injuries, or injuries of different types, or something along those lines, I feel. So we might actually have to get ourselves a decrepitude at some point. Obviously we don't want it yet, because there's no point in limiting or stymieing ourselves when we're not sure that that's what we need. But at some point we probably will go for it. Let's pop you there, and then you can go here. No, here. Yeah. Okay. Probably should be dreaming as well, right? Yeah, so I think that by the time that we've done our combining with most of the lore that we want to do, we'll be ready to give sermons again, because that will be done. I wonder why that has the same symbol as the restlessness one. I would have thought that it would have its own one, but I guess when you consider how many cards they had to design, obviously they had to reuse some things. But for now we won't worry about that. We'll just continue working away, keeping our nose clean. Just with that in the back of our mind, that we know we can do it again now. We know we can take a break, and we can get back to our sermons and really capture people's imagination. It might take a bit of time, but we won't panic next time. This kind of looks like, it looks like the Isle of Man symbol. So there's an island in between Ireland and Great Britain called the Isle of Man. And I used to go on holidays there when I was a kid. But its flag or its symbol is a triangle of 3 legs. Then obviously they've added on 3 arms as well. Kind of interesting. Oh, nice, a glimmering. That's going to come in handy. Oops. Let's go back. There we go. The sun in splendor, the hour, who once ruled the mantis, was known to walk in the orchard before his terrible division. Sometimes his remnants walk here still. Sometimes I see the chilly radiance of the menescape through the trees, or the chillier radiance of the sun rags. Where they come upon me, it might be my end. But to see them in the distance is a gift of insight. So we grab those, and then we get straight back there. Okay, and let's have a look at these. The Wolf Despair prowls elsewhere. Okay. I've increased my mastery of this succulent lore, which we call by its aspect, Grail. So you pop there. Then we're going to combine those two and use the newly acquired glimmering that we got. It's going to be good. As yet, I've only the needs and desires of any other mortal. But what stirs in me? Okay, one thing's on. You go up here, as do you. Right, so there is our funds. Yeah, and I know that the other thing I know about the priest is that we need more health than we currently have. I don't know, maybe like there are a lot more wounds than I think in the game, or maybe we just need help because we're getting wounds, are going to need it more than we need the other things. But for that, we're going to have to find rites that will allow us to change passion or reason into health. But that's for later down the line. Let's go for the lodge. Some erudition, okay. In last night's dream, I was in the lodge of the Sage Knight, behind the white door. It is difficult to remember exactly how I came there, and the mistress of the place, the woman with the dark glasses, was nodding as if I had asked her a difficult question. Of course I hadn't. I lost my speech when I passed the white door. "How is it that I can speak?" she said to me. "Didn't come here through the white door. I'm not proud of what I did to come here, so let me tell you about something else." So we get that. We're gonna then head back in. Just run things on. So now we've got that glimmering, we've got some erudition. So erudition, let's see, maybe lantern sounds like an erudition type of thing. Yep, erudition, okay. So we use the glimmering on this. Then we'll use the erudition for you. Yeah, it won't be a bad little run of things then. We should get back to work as well. Almost let it degrade, but caught it just about the right time. So he's got the evidence again, so he's going to pause its counter for a little while. Those funds are completely wrong. We discussed why before. There we go. Let's go back to normal. Okay, so 266 means that, what, 4.5 minutes, a little over left. Let's go here this time. Another glimmering, okay. We'll take that. The sun and splendor, the hour that once ruled the Mantis, was known to walk in the orchard before his terrible division. Sometimes his remnants walk here still. Sometimes I see the chilly radiance of the Menescape through the trees, or the chillier radiance of the sun rags. Were they to come upon me, it might be by end, but to see them in the distance is a gift of insight. Okay, so we have both of those available to us now. That's good. I'm gonna hop in here. Oops. Start you and be there. There we go. Get those going again. Okay, work is done. Oops. Slot those, start them off. I've increased my mastery of the succulent lore. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea, right? But with those two around, the Rhaenyra and Saliba have really been getting into our heads. And as much as we're trying to listen to Clovette's advice, we've still been studying the lore that they've been giving us, and it's kind of interesting. But at the same time, we crave some other lore, so we're gonna have a look at some lantern lore for a while. Just see what that has to, like. Clovette probably wanted to give us some heart lore to look at, and we thought, not really into that. So then, being the kind of happy-go-lucky person that she is, suggested we'll try some different lore, and hand us the lantern and said, have a look at these and see if anything takes your fancy. So that's what we're doing at the minute, just kind of exploring other types of lore. As yet I have only the needs and desires of any other mortal, What stirs in me? It's potentially 2 dread sitting there. You're going to look for this. Right? Or did we maybe we missed the window? That could be possible as well. Okay. I'm going to take the risk and go here. Because that's nice, but we've got tons of them. Okay, favour from authority. Last night I dreamt of a blue silk pavilion overlooking the cloudy labyrinth of the bounds. I listened to the mistress of the place speak of other visitors. The Suppression Bureau come here. Did you know that? I think they hope to recruit me as an ally. She snorts derisively. After what they tried to do to Christopher? But their folly is your fortune. I will tell you something that may help you, if the Bureau ever troubles you. Okay. So we have that available to us now. And given that we have that available to us, we're probably going to start preaching again. Okay. We're lucky that we didn't miss that. Let's run that on. Yeah, I think we're going to say, listen, we know the guy has the evidence, but now we have something to potentially counter that. And that's what we're going to do. But you are now going to be an issue. Okay, so we got our work there. We can get straight to the pulpit now. We've been reading away. We read a lot of the Grail lore. We've been doing some stuff with Lantern as well, and we're kind of coming up with a new sermon. But we're going back to the lore that kind of drives us. And for that one we need so you are reason. Yeah. So we're going to use our reason with it. Just kind of, you know, what Claudette said to us about not immersing yourself too much in their lore has kind of struck home, and I think, but what lore speaks to us? And we've gone back to that lore that we feel speaks to us. But also, although we're listening to Claudette now and again, Rhaenyra and Saliba kind of saying, you know, it's been a while, right, since we've been to the Ecdysis Club. We should go check and see what's going on there. So we go back and we see the drinks, the songs, the lights, the arching walls, the smoke blue haze, the press and sway of clothed and unclothed flesh, and it kind of brings back memories like that kind of smoky atmosphere and the laughing and people, you know, greeting people that we haven't seen in a while in there. And yes, kind of feels good to be back. I purchased pleasure, a real home in the ungodly hours, and collapsed into bed. Yeah, and it was a really good night out, and we're glad they suggested it. Now we're going to lose this glimmering, unfortunately, because we're not going to be able to study. Oh no, we are going, because we are studying it now. So no panic. It's okay. Oh wait, no. We are going to lose it because we used erudition in there, right? Yeah, so we're going to lose you. Okay, so check you again. Fascination. Okay, interesting. Oops. Last night in the billowing blue of the lodge of the Sage Knight, I sat on velvet cushion and watched the two dead contend with shining words. They came with the place, said the woman who rules here now, the one who once called herself Galmier. I was not the Sage Knight, if that's what you're wondering. You went higher in the mantis, long before I came here. My attention has drifted. The swords sparkle like falling water. The dead move like dancers. Grab those. Now, let's string these two together. The door of wisdom or vision swings wide. Little darkness will mellow my light. Even dread has its uses. So that's going to be good because we first of all remove one dread from the table. So this can't find it. But now it's got no choice but to take the contentment and cancel that out. So that's going to be good. And then yeah, we're going to lose you, but we will study to get a new one when we need it. But I want to have a look here as well. You need... yeah, you need glimmerings, so we're going to definitely be getting more glimmerings. Tonight they listen, but they do not hear. So it's the same old thing where we'll come back, maybe we're confused with all of these different things that we're pulling from, and our mind is still isn't cleared from the kind of, you know, all the crazy stuff we've been doing with these guys as well. But we remember something. Remember that we told ourselves that it wasn't going to be instant. We've got to stick to it. And we're going to try, we're going to kind of trust in Clavette and decide that, listen, Clavette kind of knows what she's talking about. And, you know, if we listen to her, maybe things are going to come out all right. So let's have her help us write the next sermon and put a bit of her passion in it and see how it goes. So we're going to do that. So lose the glimmering there. So we still have you. You are in Greek, so you should really go there. And that's Sanskrit, right? Yeah. I've increased my mastery of the glorious lore, which you call by its aspect lantern. I'm probably already thinking, you know, while we're actually giving this sermon about with the heart lore, and we are giving it a bit of gusto, but in the kind of pauses when, you know, during the ceremony when we're not speaking, probably thinking about that lantern lore that we were reading recently. Maybe, yeah, maybe we use a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We can actually get a pretty decent sermon out of it. And that's probably going to be the next one that we try. I can imagine Clavette sitting there in the chapel, front and center, beaming at us. Just sitting there happily, knowing that, you know, her efforts have resulted in this, and look at that, we got some fervor. In the house of the sun, the dance of the angels of glory does not cease. Those who are cast down, wave or wound or snow, are gone from the house, and as long as their parts in the dance are filled, they may never return. Therefore let us join hands and add our little steps to the dance. So we got the fervor. Then Clavette maybe whispers in her and says, you know what? Neville's a good guy. Neville pauses before he speaks and flinches easily. He laughs whenever he thinks you've made a joke. It's like, yeah, Clavette is talking to you and said, listen, I know Neville kind of is a bit awkward and stuff, but he's a nice guy, and he's going to be pretty devoted to you. He may not be the strong personality you're looking for to stand up and back you against Rhaenyra and Saliba, but he's still going to be there in the background, always supporting you, and he's not going to be swayed away from your side so easily. So maybe you bring him in and then look for for that person who is going to, who is going to be the kind of strong one. But for now, her words make sense, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to invite Neville into the inner circle. Okay, and then here we have some lovely erudition, so we'll grab that. Now, I don't believe we have anything that currently needs erudition, so it is going to go to waste. Oh, and we should be studying there. Just a little glimmering. And we should also be heading back to Mansus. And again, as happened before, we've been working hard, and then we took a bit of time from the job, but threw ourselves into writing sermons, and we're still going to the club and stuff, and it takes its toll once again. We're getting a new affliction. Dwarf despair prowls elsewhere. No dread empowers. Just despair. Okay, good. One thing's on. And see what comes of here. Tent of evidence is about to go. The congregations have donated generously, and they haven't limited those donations to the collection plate. Okay. So now we're seeing kind of a shift in the church, whereas before there was a very clear divide between those who were there before we brought our circle of friends in and our new circle of friends. But now with the likes of Clovette on our side, she was sitting there front and center, but there were other people beside her who aren't in our circle of acquaintances, and not even like hangers on of ours either, but who are still members of the congregation and who are locals, and they're seeing things more from our side than they were before. And maybe the parish council are getting a little bit nervous of things now, thinking, hang on, I thought those people were on our side. What's going on here? But that's when maybe we're going to be vulnerable as well. When they're thinking that, and they're going to have to do something, right, to come back at us. So we've got to be careful. We've got to keep an eye out on things. So you are a reason. So one, so we'll put that in there. Let's start. But yeah, we've had our chat with Neville, and yeah, Neville's pretty happy to be at our side. And Eddie's in the little meetings and stuff, and he's not as enthusiastic to do what Rhaenyra and Saliba want to do, and sometimes he will excuse himself from certain activities, but he won't stand up and have direct conflict with them. But still, he's now and again, when he decides that he's not going to do what they're planning to do, sometimes Colette will side with him. And then when we see that, we kind of think, yeah, maybe won't do it, or won't do it as much. But let's go to the orchard now. Entering the white door. Last night I walked in the orchard of lights. I plucked the fruit, which is always ripe, and consumed it in 2 bites. Taste is not to be forgotten. As I licked the glowing juices from my fingers, I saw a message carved in the bark of the tree. When I woke, I recorded that message. all I could remember in my diary. Okay, perfect. Now let's get back there. Okay, then we have our affliction as well. This illness has damaged my health. I need to rest before I'm fully recovered. Right, so you're going to go there to remind me that we need to fix you. I pass the time. I've been inclined to tears and afterwards inclined to laughter. Meanwhile, the world continues. Okay, so now we start on you two. The glory demands truth. When we are clad in truth, it shall not burn us. Okay, so we got some funds, and yeah, the new sermon that we decided to have a go at actually went down pretty well. We're happy with that. And something that we noticed as well is that Neville, when Neville kind of got invited into her inner circle, Claire here, she's got a scholarly aspect and a morbid streak, but she kind of looks out for Neville, and she didn't want him getting mixed up too much with Saliba and especially Rhaenyra. She was kind of, not too happy with him hanging around with those two, on their own. She was happy that Clavette was there and that we were there as some kind of like supervisor, but she's come to us and she said to us, listen, I don't think what's going on with Rhaenyra and Saliba is a good thing for Neville, and I'm gonna make sure that nothing bad comes of him. And then she's probably starting to hang around with us more than she maybe did before. So we are going to start working on a new sermon, but we're also going to invite our Claire into the inner circle. Because we kind of, at first kind of taken aback by how confrontational she was when she spoke to us first, but then a little voice in the back of her head said, this is what you need. This is what you were looking for. She's maybe the one that's going to tip things over, maybe in the way that you want it to be. So instead of it being almost a jolly for everybody, maybe we're going to get a little bit more serious about things. Yeah, and why not, right? So we'll see how Claire affects the dynamic in the group now. Let's see what she has to say now. Claire is quiet, meticulous, and remorseless. Interesting. So she's become more quieter than before, but although she doesn't speak up much in the group, it's the looks that she gives people. And just the word here and there from her meticulous nature, you know, and just making subtle suggestions. And Neville kind of hangs on anything that she says, her every word. And with Clovette kind of steering us as well, it means that the other two are maybe their time is coming to an end. But I don't think we're ever gonna completely stop them doing stuff. It's not gonna be the main activity anymore. They might be off in the corner doing wherever they want to do, and then for us, we can do what we need to do. Right, so we're gonna grab this one, I think. Okay, so fracture. Last night in the great pavilion above the grey sprawl of the Bounds, a woman who once called herself Theresa Galmier sat on gilt-fringed cushions and offered me a horn cup of dream wine. The wine is imaginary, she explained, but the cup is not. To navigate the Mansus, one must understand the distinction. Perhaps one day you'll join me on the pilgrimage, or I'll join you. So here, let us share a secret. And her breath tickled my ear. Okay, so we've got subtle fracture. Pop that up there. Full despair prowls elsewhere. Okay, we'll pop it there. We can slot that glimmering in there as well. And we're going to sort you out. Okay. So nothing for him to find. Although he might find something now. Because that has a very good chance of producing notoriety. In the house of the sun, the dance of the angels of glory does not cease. Those who were cast down, wave or wound or snow, are gone from the house. As long as their parts in the dance are filled, they may never return. Therefore, let us join hands and add our little steps to the dance. Okay, so we've got a fund. We've got another fervor. And now it's your group. You're kind of getting to the point where we don't really have control as we did before over who's in the group. There's just too many to, there's 6 of us now, and Claire now has had a chat with Rose. Rose is a sly miss, but loyal. Yeah, she had a chat with her, and Rose has promised to back Claire in the group, but she can't really be trusted that much. But Claire doesn't mind that, as long as for now she kind of gets what she wants. So we're gonna have a chat with Rose and invite Rose into the group as well. Oh, hang on. What are we missing here? Oh, hang on. She's a believer already. She's been in the inner circle for all this time. I didn't realize that. Oh, well then that throws our story off a bit as well. So I guess Rose must have been away somewhere, and now she's come back. And yeah, things have changed. She's realized Rhaenyra and Saliba now are in the inner circle. And maybe she's obviously not as close to us as she used to be. But she wants to take that position back. And with her, she's brought Leo. And Leo is an earnest sort with an interest in the occult. He hangs on your hints about the invisible arts. So yeah, when she suggests Leo, we think, yeah, Leo generally pays attention to us when we're talking about the occult, and maybe he's going to be the right one. But now we're kind of worried as well, though, as we kind of accept Leo into it. A bit later, maybe have a ponder of things and think, So, what's going on now? Are there 3 factions in our little group already, with so few of us? We've got Rhaenyra and Saliba, who are hell-bent on pursuing pleasure. We've then got the trio of Clavette, Neville and Claire, none of whom on their own are that outspoken or that powerful a voice within the group, but each of them has something, and when they act as a collective, they've been swaying the group more away from the excesses of the other 2, but still their little union there is fragile and can be broken. And then you have someone like Rose, who was our original confidant, who we kind of lost touch with, and we forgot that she was in our little circle. And then when she turned back up at one of her sermons, and she could see from the body language between our group that things had changed. There'd been, momentum had shifted, and people who were just acquaintances before were a bit more than that. But now she's back. Now she wants to take back that position. And she's happy enough for now to make any promises that she needs to Eau Claire or Clavette to get that position back. But she doesn't want to be answering to anyone. And if she needs to break up their little group, she will. If she needs to win over Rhaenyra and Saliba to get what she wants, she will too. But for now, she's going to bide her time. Wait for the right time and strike. Yeah, I think we do have 3 groups now. We're going to run things on, see how this resolves. Oh, and what happened with our affliction? Did we get another affliction? Whatever happened, we're going to start that and not end up with a decrepitude at least. Could have waited for the vitality, but I'd rather deal with it now, especially since we're at pretty much at the end of the video anyway. We're just going to see what happens here. So he's still looking. He's probably going to get notoriety. Oh, maybe not. I think we got... Oh, okay. I was going to say, I think we got 2 funds because he's taken it, but now it's there. Our devotion has drawn comment. So he's going to take that. So we're going to have tentative evidence to maneuver around next time. And who knows, maybe Rose returning and, she's a bit sly. Maybe she was the one who... I don't think she would talk to the detective herself, but she probably had a chat maybe with 1 or 2 of the members of the parish council and accidentally maybe let something slip from a while ago that the rest of us have forgotten about. But for her, felt more recent because she hasn't been around for a while. And maybe then that passed on to the detective. Leo is an earnest sort, but he's prepared to do what he must. Yeah, and Leo, maybe she used Leo as that conduit. Maybe she didn't actually speak to the parish council at all. Maybe she got him to do it instead. But for now, that is where we have to leave our story. Hope you have enjoyed. Hope you're keeping safe out there. And hope to see you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.